Welcome YouTube. Thanks for watching. Skippy02 here. Going to talk a little bit about the Palmetto State Armory AR9. They offer a couple different versions, and this is basically the base entry-level model. It comes with essentially everything you need to quote-unquote build a fully functioning 9mm AR platform rifle. Simply add your lower receiver, a magazine, and you're good to go. Real quick, these are the mags that it uses. This is a Colt patterned submachine gun mag, 32 rounds. Several companies are manufacturing them now. This one happens to be made by ASC, and while they've got mixed reviews, people either love them or hate them. They're tough to beat for the money, and being that they're made out of stainless steel, we'll see what the grand scheme of things lays out for us. But everybody sells them. You can get them in aluminum, stainless, polymer. I bought these because they were stainless, they're stoner, and well, let's face it, they've got a decent reputation for the most part, although some people hate them, so it is what it is. The other thing is the lower. Like I said, it doesn't come with the mags or the lower. You have to supply your own. So any standard Mil-Spec lower will work. Theoretically, you could even use a polymer one, but that's really not my bag, so I'll leave that up to you at home. The upper receiver portion comes pre-assembled and test-fired from their assembly factory. Obviously, it doesn't come with the scope, so just pretend that's not there. Does not include the brass deflector, and as it turns out, that's not needed with a 9mm because of its ejection patterns. Nor does it come with a forward assist, and I'll leave that at that. The delta ring, the foregrip are all standard Mil-Spec carbine length style setup. The front sight base, while it does not incorporate a gas tube and so forth because this is a blowback operated gun, it does have a standard Mil-Spec FS or F stamped front sight base. The barrel is predominantly a heavy contour, although under the handguard it does narrow down a little bit. It's right hand twist, 1 in 10, 9mm obviously. The muzzle is threaded, as you can see there. It has an A2 style bird cage on it. Those are replaceable if you wanted to, say, swap it out for something else. There you see the 9mm 1 in 10 stamping. The handguards are heat shielded, so that's a bonus. The charging handle, this is absolutely standard run-of-the-mill Mil-Spec fare, so if you wanted to swap it out for something with a larger latch on it, you could easily do so. The bolt is unique to Palmetto State, so if you have a Colt or CMMG or any number of the other companies out there doing them, you'll notice that most of them have their variances. Palmetto State, not that not that different, but different at the same time. The pseudo gas key, as it were, is well staked, but only secured with one screw, and it doesn't run the full length of the notching in the top of the bolt like some of the other companies do. The carrier is also 2 pieces, as you can see where it's pinned together here, this added weight to help absorb the recoil of the 9mm blowback. The face of the bolt looks pretty much just like all the others out there on the market. Essentially functions exactly the same. The bottom side of the bolt is notched for clearances for your extractor and so forth. Or not your extractor, sorry, your ejector. You'll notice that this is not a ramped bolt. The difference between a ramped and a non-ramped bolt is that this portion right under my thumb is scalloped down, providing additional clearances for your hammer. Palmetto offers this kit with a ramped bolt. It's an $80 upgrade. However, after speaking to them on the phone, they told me that if this bolt gave me any problems, to contact them and they would work out an exchange free of charge. Haven't had any problems yet. Hopefully won't have any problems. Not going to worry about it. But if we cross that bridge, I'll follow up with a second video. Anyway, so that's the bolt. Similar to AR, yet different. Obviously, this locks the firing pin in. You can see the firing pin down in there. Much smaller than a AR style firing pin. But general function and idea is the same. I guess I should mention that the receiver, while it doesn't have the port door and all that, it does have a full length section of 1919 laser etched rails on it, so you can mount optics of your choice or a simple rear sight aperture so that you would have, of course, a front and a rear. It does not come with one. But to the lower, I've got a simple Mil-Spec Anderson Manufacturing lower here. They're cheap enough and a dime a dozen, so trying to keep the price down, that's what we went with. The kit also includes the 9mm specific buffer. As you can see, it says there PSA 9. Comes with their heavy-duty recoil spring. Came with their standard complete lower parts kit. So essentially everything in this lower receiver is standard AR-15 fare. The obvious exception is the heavy recoil spring and buffer. And then of course the Palmetto mag block, which is kind of the key feature. Again, their mag block is designed to accept the Colt pattern SMG mags. Their mag block is aluminum and steel. It's a two-piece sandwich unit that's bolted together, has the steel feed ramp portion on it, which you can see there is not polished by them and could probably stand some polishing, but again, this is new and we don't like to jump too far ahead until we see how things are working, but so far so good. This is your ejector. You can see it sits much farther forward than everything, and that's part of the equation as to why you don't need the brass deflector on the side of the upper receiver. It also incorporates this little tang down here. When the mag is inserted and it is empty, that tang will be lifted by the follower of the magazine, which in turn, as you can see there, will lift the standard Mil-Spec bolt catch. So this gun does in fact have a last shot bolt hold open and a functioning bolt catch. So your manual of arms is going to be essentially identical to that of your standard AR-15, AR-10 platform. Again, all the internals are standard. The trigger group, standard Mil-Spec. The selector, standard Mil-Spec. The pins, the springs, right down to the mag release, which doubles duty on this application because it is not only securing and latching in those SMG mags, it's also helping to secure their mag adapter, which again drops in from the top. You install the mag latch and the ping pong paddle / bolt catch, and that all holds it into place, and it's pretty solid once it's in. But I can't iterate enough how much I like the fact that it's all standard AR-15 fare. Mil-Spec, yada yada yada, that gives you a lot of cross compatibility. One point of contention may be the buffer tube that it comes with, as well as the stock. They are commercial spec, not Mil-Spec. So if you wanted to upgrade your stock from the standard M4 style collapsible unit, you can do that easily. Pretty much everybody who makes a Mil-Spec stock makes a commercial variant of it. If not, buy a freaking Mil-Spec tube. How long does that take to put on? 10 minutes. Put the Mil-Spec tube on. It'll thread up, it'll mount up, and there you go. Not that big a deal. Same with the grip. Again, the trigger, the lower components, pretty much everything forward of the upper receiver, less the gas tube, of course, yada yada yada, is all essentially Mil-Spec. So lots of cross compatibility and options available to you. But that should, I think, basically cover it. This is a melanite finished kit, that being the barrel and so forth. It's not chrome lined or anything along those lines. Again, it's a big, thick, heavy barrel. I suspect that barrel's probably going to last a lifetime. Plenty of options for accessorization if you want. You should be able to even free float the forend. Simply unpin the front sight base, slide it off, loosen the barrel nut, remove the delta ring and the forend, put your new forend on and its applicable barrel nut or mounting system. I think sky's the limit. And for as of this day, I'll just go ahead and say that this is the weekend after July 4th, 2015. This kit can be had for less than $400. Pick up a lower receiver, pick up a couple of these mags, throw some ammo in it, have a good time. But anyway, so watch for some more videos. I'm going to get some shooting videos, some first thoughts, some other things along those lines. And of course, if there's any noteworthy news that pops up along the way, watch for a follow-up video on that as well. In the meantime, hope I answered any questions that some of y'all out there may have had regarding this Palmetto State AR9 kit. Again, they've got several to choose from, and I'll try to annotate what the exact model number of this one is. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. They do have several. But anyway, I think I've probably gone on long enough. But as always, questions or comments, leave them down below. We'll get back to you. And thanks for watching. Hope you liked what you saw. Go ahead and hit that like button. And by all means, feel free to subscribe and stay up to date with what all we have going on. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Take care of each other. And God bless. Skippy02, and I'm out of here.